Yo. What is up? OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy live here at you, coming at you live. Live, talking about hi-fi, watches, cigars, food, drink, relationships, no religion, and we can talk about spirituality, but no religion, no politics. Everything else, it does not matter. Countdown to AXPONA begins tonight, is what Ziggy's saying. Zigga dig. See him right here. Zig's going to pick me up from the airport and hopefully not murder me on the way to lunch. You know what I want to do, Zig, is, well, shit, I don't know if we grab lunch after you come and get me. I'll buy you lunch, man. I kind of want to try. I have to figure out when I can go to Pequod's, and maybe it's going to be Wednesday afternoon. I'm dying for that shit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it is deep dish from Chicago that is ridiculous. I think I showed it to you last time. Caramelized little edges. Maybe Chicago purists may think it's not really what I can know. It's rated as some of the best. And I love it and I miss it. And you don't get that stuff around here. I have to go, when I go to Chicago, I have to eat Italian food and stuff that we don't really get here. So I look real forward to going to Chicago. Same with New York, Italian food, baby. And Jersey, holy shit, deli sandwiches. So we will see. I'll see Zig on Wednesday at like 2 p.m. or something like that, man, at O'Hare. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe. Just wanted to start this by saying how much hope I had for humanity after watching Luca Chesky present his product on your show. Yes. Yeah, it was enlightening and great. And I've got another young guy who came over a couple days later who is there's definitely some young guys that are going to, fill the boots of the manufacturers of the old crowd. And, this guy reached out to me and has a very, very interesting product, patented product. I won't say what it is because I am working on an exclusive distribution agreement like I have for my other products. And these are things that nobody else has, and they're special. I find them special. I find them in the market. People that are looking for representation, companies, manufacturers that are looking for representation by somebody that knows what they're talking about, and somebody that's passionate about the arts, meaning the audio arts and music, and not just a business person that wants to throttle their brand and use it. Somebody who's actually going to have heart for it. The people, they reach out to me and I get opportunities. And so if anybody is watching this right now, and feel free to contact me if you have products. I've got another one coming in from Canada. I won't say what that is. He's going through the process of patenting a certain thing. And he came to me. So people come to me when stuff is brand new and not been released yet. And then I have the opportunity to bring it in and roll it with the Hi-Fi Tribe, which is all you guys, and you guys get special products. So when you come to 11 Stereo, just for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I sell hi-fi. I'm a dealer. You come to 11stereo.com, 11stereo.com. You'll find products you can't buy anywhere else. It's not the same old shit that's in every dealer's. It's not Focal and Griffin and Boulder and, Sonus Faber and Magico and all that stuff that's everywhere else. It's unique and special stuff. And I don't take very many. It has to meet my standard, which is very high. So I had also have great faith. And when I meet these young guys, I want to support them all I can, because they're the future. If nobody steps in, all the guys, the older dudes are just going to go away, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So anyways, yes, I felt the same way. I'm trying to roll my damn chair up on the rug here. Countdown to AXPONA. Yes, it does. Evening, Thomas. Welcome, buddy. Spirituality. Everything is a Torus field. Uh-oh. That's a whole conversation in itself. That was a great documentary, by the way. What was it called? Thrive. I think that's the documentary. It's called Thrive, and it talks about everything being a Torus field. And you look, look at Cardus Audio is hip to the golden ratio, so it's pretty cool. Hey, Mikey, is Aesthetics a good brand for preamps? It's an excellent brand for preamps. I don't even know what the hell is up with Aesthetics, if they're around, if they're fading out. I have talked with them, but they seem to be they don't seem to be around, man. So I'll find them at AXPONA and then find out what is up with your brand, bro. Are you guys just fading out or what? And these are some of the brands, like they just lose their steam at one point, and then you just don't know. You're like, what is going to happen to them or whatever. So, but they did at one point. Aesthetics are good preamps. There's no question. The Mikey Show, at David G, our Tribe Cora player. Dan DeBaca, aloha, Mikey and Tribe, checking in from the Big Island. What's up, man? Welcome. I saw a cool surfboard the other day, man, and I was like, I should buy a surfboard and just put it on the wall. But I'm like, it's kind of big, but it was a beautiful piece, man. I mean, this beautiful wood inlay, like on it, like it was a longboard. It was really they're cool creations, man. I like handmade things, and but I'm like, oh, it's kind of big and it's kind of committed, and I'm not a surfer, so it's kind of like, why would I have a surfboard up? Hey, Mikey and Tribe, gears on the way. That's right, buddy. It is. You probably got your shit. He had a 1,000-pound crate left here, or 950-pound crate left here on what was it? Friday or Thursday. Headed out to Bob's. Full of gear, man, full of a complete audio system. Again, this is my specialty, is selling complete systems, soup to nuts. We're getting Bob all the way from his network switch, to his room treatment, to his racks, to every piece of gear. And eventually there will probably be furniture too, like listening chairs and stuff like that. I had a great listening chair, and the company stopped making. They sold their company. They they closed it down. They'd been around for 100 years in Brazil, and it was beautiful leather stuff that I have in my room right now. And I customized them to make them great for hi-fi, like to hold a tablet in one arm, and then the other arm had a gimbal holder for a cup, like a water cup, or whatever you drink. So yeah, Bob, it's on the way, brother. And I will be gone next week. So we will reconvene on this. I'll get with Robert and Jordan at for the room treatment. We'll get you all squared away. Namaste from San Antonio, Texas. Look at that. Namaste, man. We will definitely go there. It's right by my house. Oh, okay, cool. And then if you want me to come by, man, and listen to your rig, I'm happy to do that. And I can give you any pointers or my feedback. As you know, I will tell you what I think. I won't sweet talk it. I won't be rude, but as a tribe member, I owe it to you as tribe leader, if you want to call me that, to give it to you straight and as I see it. So looking forward to it, Zig. Good evening, Tribe. Good evening, Shane. Geelong, Australia, in the house. You have a really pretty rack situation, Shane. I saw it popped up in one of my feeds today, and your beautiful white rack with those Vetus amps and all that shit. And then I saw, it was funny because I saw, the first thing I saw was the playback designs. I'm like, oh, who's got playback? Like some motherfucker knows what's going on. It's like, who, this guy knows his shit. I see the MPD8 and I see the MPSX. This motherfucker knows what's up. Like, who is it? And then I realized, oh shit, it's Shane. I'm like, beautiful setup, man. By the way, Shane is in Australia. He is a big fan of playback designs, and he's got Vetus audio amps, which I have not been able to suss out yet because they're so freaking expensive. And I spoke with the importer, and I spoke about turn times with the company, and just I didn't get a good, comfortable vibe from Vetus audio. We heard them at the show in South Florida, and the room wasn't that great. So I can't blame it on the amps, of course. That would be silly. But all I know is that room didn't sound that great. We did hear them again, I think, in Texas. The room definitely sounded better there, but the jury's still out. I'd still love to hear him. Shane loves them. He stands by Vetus as being very, musical. I always thought maybe big amps like that were MOSFET would be sharp, but what I've found out is many times MOSFET amps, I never buy MOSFET solid state. It's always bipolar. So I find that people are saying that MOSFET has a creamy sound, like a smooth liquid sound. So I'll have to test with some MOSFETs. I will be checking out some after the show in AXPONA, some Meitner stuff, which is MOSFET. So, and I'll get a good feeling there. So anyways, Mikey, before or during an electrical storm, do you physically unplug all your system? Absolutely. Absolutely. If there is lightning, I go into the room. My system all plugs into one. Well, actually, now that the monoblocks are 240, I've got them in 3 sockets. But typically, my whole rig is one freaking plug. I pull out one plug and it unplugs the 156 that has all 6 outlets, and my whole system goes off. Now, of course, I turn them off individually first, and then I unplug it from the wall. It's the only way to make sure there is no surge protector that protects from lightning. Okay, so I'll say that again. There is no surge protector that's going to protect you from lightning. It only protects from mild surges, in the electricity, which doesn't hardly happen in most places. But a lightning hit, especially a direct lightning hit to your yard, is going to go right up your freaking ground, dude, into the house, and it's going to pop shit. It's going to jump any sort of, it'll jump the breaker box. It'll jump shit. It'll burn it out. But the good news is that you've got homeowners insurance and you'll get all brand new gear if you have that shit included in your homeowners, which you should. I've had that happen one time when I lived. I had amps get taken out. I had another thing, a flood, and I had some stuff get taken out, and it was taken care of by insurance. So I was kind of like stoked, because insurance pays you for replacement value, not what you bought it for on the used market, So yes, I do unplug it. Good evening. Yes, deep dish is iconic in Chicago. It is. It's you. I've got it, but I've got a guy up there who swears by Lou Malnati's thin crust. He likes it. Now, I typically thin crust, even in New York, yes, but it's almost like Italy for me. I had thin crust that is unrivaled to this day. I remember the exact restaurant, the exact town. If I go back to Italy, I'm going to go back to that damn restaurant for that thin crust pizza, because there was never anything like it. It was so thin and just delicious. You could eat a full, probably a 12? Is that a 12? About like that? You could eat the whole thing yourself. Maybe it was a little bit more. Maybe it's like a 14. I don't know. It's probably metric. So it wasn't inches. But it was, we could eat the whole thing. Like, she got one and I got one, and you could easily eat it. We went to another place that was in Mansumano Terme. Yeah, that's where this town was. And we went to another place on the water, like in oh man, I'm gonna have a senior moment. It's right by Portofino. Anyways, it had a ton of, it was almost like it felt like American pizza. It was like a ton of cheese, a ton of, it was like hand tossed kind of, and it was so much we could only eat like one piece, and we're like, no. But Chicago deep dish, yeah, one piece. At Pequod's, it's going to be one piece. That's it. Then the rest goes into the fridge at where I'm staying, and then midnight snack, baby. Hey, Mikey and Tribe, was an experience hearing the Big Rig Saturday. Thanks for the hospitality. Yeah, thanks, Larry. Okay, Larry's on board. Larry, I've been telling people about that car ride, dude. Larry put the frickin' hooks in me for a hot rod. I'll give you a little background. When I was little, okay, a couple things that got me excited in life. One was riding with my dad on a motor scooter, a Vespa. My dad had a Vespa. It was an Allstate, a Sears Allstate, which was made by Piaggio. It was a 125 two-stroke. And my dad used to put me on there, was a little tyke, and cruise me around on a motor scooter. Well, that gave me motorcycles in my blood. As soon as I could ride a scooter at 16, I got a scooter. And we rode dirt bikes before that, but I never got one. Only my little brother got a dirt bike. I didn't get one, so I had to borrow them. So then I've ridden my whole life because I got it in my blood. Well, my father also had a 1969 Corvette with a 350 that had 350 torque, and high compression engine. And, it was a rock and roll machine. Like, it made the best noise. And it was just, and there was this one spot on a cloverleaf where we'd come down off Highway 7 onto Highway 100, and you'd come down the cloverleaf, and then there was the overpass. So when you came out of the turn, you'd shit can it, full tilt boogie, pedal to the metal. And by the time you got up under the overpass that you just came off of, you get the full echo of the V8 and the exhaust at full throttle winding out. So it was always we'd come down that curve and I'd get like, I'd be all excited because I knew that shit was coming. And then we'd come down and pops would, and I'd just be like, loved it, man. So I still have that in my blood, but I had a Porsche when I was in my 20s. It was a 944 turbo. It was kind of like, that was the closest thing I had probably to a hot rod in my whole life up until now. But now there's more means, and I'm an adult, and Larry comes by, God bless him. He's got his baby. Okay, so I'll give you a little background on Larry. Larry is a former dirt track racer. So he drives those things that look like stock car, NASCAR kind of things, man. They got it's a cage with I'm going to call it flimsy, because it kind of is a flimsy outer thing, because they shake when you go around and you hit something, they just fly off the cover that goes on them. It's like a sheet metal cover on a damn cage with big fat slicks and shit. And these guys drift the whole way almost around this oval track. And Larry is a driver. He's a professional driver. He's not anymore. He's retired, but he did drive for somebody, the team. And so Larry knows engines. Larry knows how to build cars. He knows how to build them proper. And he brought by his Camaro. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's an 18, if I remember correctly. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a ZL1 Camaro, which comes track ready. If you guys know what a ZL1 is, it's a $77,000 Camaro that comes from the factory ready to take on the track. It's got all the trick suspension and all cool shit. Well, he went ahead and put 40G into that car afterwards, and he put a supercharger. He put Lingenfelter, whatever the hells they are. I can't remember if those are the intercoolers or, and he's got wicked suspension that's like Formula One type suspension, and sway bars and supports, where he took out all his sway bar bushings and made rigid coupling. So he doesn't even have urethane coupling bushings. He's got rigid coupling of all the support bars. So this thing rides like a full race car. And it's got 865 horsepower and 865 torque, or whatever it is. Hurst short shift kit with like the pool ball on it, the round pool ball. And he let me drive it. And I'm not scared of cars. Okay. I don't give a shit. Give me maybe I would be scared of like a trophy truck or some shit like that, but like, in any street car, pretty much, I'm comfortable in them. I like horsepower. I love it. I love that shit. And he let me into his baby, which is an honor, Larry, by the way, because you know how it is with this. You work on it's your baby. You've done everything to and whatever. And to let somebody that you don't even know how he drives, which he didn't, but he trusted in Mikey. It's like, Mikey's got a badass rig. Mikey's got a bunch of motorcycles. Maybe he can drive an 865 horsepower track car, which I could. Absolutely not like Larry. Larry's got a real good grip on how to drive that thing. But it was a blast. Oh my God. And it was so well tuned. The most pleasurable thing about driving it was how well tuned it was, how good the brakes were, how good the transmission linkage was, the clutch, everything was so tight and nice and beautiful. And then it made this glorious howl when you floored it. And then when you would downshift, the computer would automatically blip the throttle. So, just, oh my God, it was pure ecstasy driving your car, bro. And it totally gave me the hook. So now I'm like, Corvette Z06, 2019 Z06. LT3, and with a manual, some shit like that. It comes 650 horsepower. It's a vet. I'm a smaller guy. I can fit in a vet pretty well. Plus, it would be reminiscent, would bring back memories of being a child in a Corvette. So I have to go drive one. And see what it's all about. I also have to drive a Porsche. I know Porsches seem like they would be more my thing because I'm kind of one of those weird Euro kind of guys with my bikes and stuff like that. But I don't know, I do have Harleys, so Corvette might be the machine. I'm going to have to go drive one and see if it is. So I know that was a mouthful, but that was everything that went on with Larry. Larry came by, and I have this fun thing that I do to everybody when they, and it's like I told Larry, it's like when you're driving the car and you tell people, okay, I'm going to floor it now. You have to give them the warning so that they know, because they might really get scared and then complain afterwards. So I have to tell people I'm going to turn it up in a little bit with the audio rig. I have to tell them, look, in a second, I'm going to turn it up and then I'll turn it back down. But I just want to show you what it'll do. And it elicits giggles and laughter every single time. Every single person. I don't care how cool and calm a character you are. When I turn it up during that one song, and I use this song that Ken told me about, it's a Shiba-san. It's an older tune. It's like tech house, and it gets this deep part, and I turn it up, and everybody just starts giggling because it's so overwhelming, and it's so tight, and it's so clean, and the tubes don't clip, and it's a single freaking vacuum tube doing all of that. People just lose it. They're like, they're speechless. They don't know how to put it into words. And that's kind of like what it's like driving an 865 torque Camaro ZL1. It's quite the experience. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks again, Larry. Hey, Charles, what's up? How are you, buddy? How's those 570s? I got 570s going up to Detroit now, and 770s leaving tomorrow to go to Chicago. Bob's 470s left a couple days ago. You saw oh man, I'm losing his name. The motorcycle racer. Damn it. I've got too many names running around in my head. But he came by, he talked about it. He was the kind of the little blonde guy who races motorcycles, right? I mean, everybody's into excitement. Like the people that come to hear the rigs, they're my people, man. They're adrenaline junkies. It's great. And so he bought 370s. So it's like almost every day they're moving. Now, by the way, announcement. Okay, got to make an announcement for everybody. So listen up here. I've got 3 pallets of Fisher and Fisher's coming in. These have no tariffs on them, right? I got them in just before. So there's no markup or anything like that. I don't know what's going to happen. My next order that's placed when they come in, potentially it could be like a 30% tariff on me, which means it's a 15%. And here's a good thing to know. Whatever, if a company is marking up for the tariff, they should mark up half of basically of what the cost is, right? Because it's the tariff's on our cost, not on your retail cost. So if someone marks it up 37% on retail, they're just double dipping, trying to. So keep that in mind. So with and especially Serbia, I've got a couple Nat audio products. You want to get your Nat audio products now. Serbia has one of the highest next to Vietnam. Serbia has 37% plus the 10% that goes over everybody. So that's 47% on my incoming Nat stuff. What's really great is that these products were already priced below the competition. So even with whatever tariff it is, even if it's 25%, theoretically 22.5% markup on the Nat audios, it's still going to be reasonable. It's not going to make them unreasonable. So that's what's great with that. But anyways, now is the time to get a hold of the things that I have on hand, because if this tariff thing holds, which we don't know if it will, I guess already 50 countries have come back trying to make deals because they're scared shitless of not, selling into the United States. So, I think it's a leverage tool. And so hopefully they won't last. It'll be something that just freaks the shit out of these other countries and then they come to action. I think they're after free trade, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, so, but we will see. So I will let you know what happens on my next import shipment and what it looks like. Already, it's a pretty, significant amount to get them shipped over here and then pay the import duty. So we'll see what happens. I will keep you all posted. But if you're thinking about it, it's better to do it now than to wait and hedge that nothing's going to happen, because something might happen. Wes, any word what they will be debuting at AXPONA? No, I don't think there's really anything. I mean, there probably is some things, but I don't think it's anything really breakthrough that I know of. I will take video shorts. If you guys watch, I will do video shorts on my channel of things that I think are noteworthy. Okay. So to put this into real words, I don't do show coverage. I don't go there and walk into every room and talk to everybody. That's not my place in this whole scenario. I am a guy who carries products that are above average, and then I talk about things that are above average. So if I go into a room and something blows me away and I'm like, wow, this is exceptional, then I'll do a max 3-minute video where I'll just hold it up and it'll be in my video shorts. And then I'll show you what I'm seeing and maybe talk a little bit about it. And that's going to be all you see. Okay. Generally speaking, these shows are the same old thing. And AXPONA is a big dicking contest. That is the fun part about it, I guess, for the people that are attending, is you get to see everybody pull out their most crazy shit. Okay. All these companies are going to put, there's certain companies that don't come to any other shows. They only come to AXPONA. And some of those companies are the big ones like Macintosh or like Focal, or, they've basically blown off the small shows and they come to the big ones only. And when they come, these are $100 million companies or whatever, I imagine. And they're just going to make some obnoxious, huge spectacle of a rig, right? So it's fun to see everybody kind of outdick each other, right? They're all trying to outdo each other with the big schwanz. So what is fun and a learning lesson is you can hear how shitty some of these systems sound, and you can realize these are just corporate pencil necks. Maybe some of them got big necks, but they're suit and tie guys, right? They're two suit and tie guys that don't know shit about setting up hi-fi, and maybe their lackeys that they have doing the rooms don't either. And you can tell. You walk in and you're like, how embarrassing. Can't believe this brand is this big and this room sounds this bad. But in many ways, you just go, well, maybe this stuff is to be sold to people that don't know any better. They just go off the name, and maybe they don't even need to make it sound good because their name has so much goodwill with it or clout, So it's interesting to see. It's an interesting spectacle. It is a zoo, and I'm interested to see how much of a zoo it is this year, because all the other shows that I've been to have been very poorly attended. And this one is typically over attended. So I want to see how it is this year. It'll give me a feeling about the market based on or at least a feeling about the attendance. Okay. Because even if it's low attendance, the market is off the chain for me, so it's hard for me to get a grip on the market out there because, I'm selling systems consistently. So, and again, then thank you for giving me your business. I think it's because, look, it's not that hard in this industry where there's so many charlatans and snakes and vipers. All you have to do is be the righteous one, and you're gonna do good. I have an advantage over that because I actually care about people. I actually am care about my clients like they're friends of mine, and they become friends of mine. It's just in my nature. It's not in many other people's nature, and it's easy to tell. Congratulations, Bob. Yes, he is getting them. Bob, congrats. You got to be psyched. Tommy's got some 570s. Bob is getting 470s. You will see. See, here I go again. Donald Dietz, Don baby, is going to be hanging with us at the show. Now, Don is an artist from Detroit. That's where the 570s are going, up to Detroit. He lives in a super cool loft that used to be a firehouse. just what a great place to live in Detroit, in something like that. Like if I lived in Detroit, that's where I'd want to live, in a place like that has historic relevance in the industrial sector. Like how freaking badass is that? So he's going to put some 570s in. He's got a grand piano. We're going to figure that all out, how to place everything. But he's coming out to the show for fun. He's going to hang with us. You guys we're going to have a great posse there. By the way, anybody that wants to meet me and meet the posse, because I travel with an entourage. So if you want to meet me at the show, don't, if I'm talking to somebody, just come up, if you stand and stare at me, I might see you and then I'll walk over, but don't be shy. Just come up and touch the back of my elbow or something, and then I'll look over and I'll know you're waiting to talk to me. I'm not offended, man. I mean, this is what I'm a public figure, right? So I'm out here for you guys. And so if you just call the number, I'll put the banner up with the number, and everybody, if you haven't given a thumbs up and you're watching this right now, please give a thumbs up. Okay, so here's my number, 415-484-5121. Again, 415-484-5121. Just call me on the cell phone, man, and I'll answer. And then you say, hey, Mikey, where are you? I'd like to meet you, or whatever. Hey, this is whoever. We're down in the lobby. What room are you at? And I'll tell you where we are, and we can meet up. So that is as easy as it is. Let's see. Yeah, let me find. There we go. Yeah. Shane, what Brother Playback Designs is the Mac Daddy. Yes, it is, sir. As you know, mate, system synergy is everything. I can't wait to have you sit in my room. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's got one of those rooms that you look at. If you guys have seen Shane's room, by the way, Shane is an Aussie audiophile. You can go to his channel right here on YouTube. Go check him out. And Shane, it's one of those systems that you look at and you go, that can't work, because of where your speakers are. Your speakers are like pushed back with gear, kind of like, looks like it would reflect. Maybe it helps separate the image. But it looks like how does he make that work? That looks like a clusterfuck, it's beautiful. But it looks like kind of like a clusterfuck, you know what I mean? Because the speakers are there. So I can't wait to hear it. My system, I've had systems like that too. And even my system right now is like that. I have my head against the rear wall and everybody's, oh, that can't work. That can't work. Head against the wall. You don't know what you're doing. I'm like, get your freaking ass over to my house and listen, and then tell me I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it work with the head a foot away from the back wall. And I'm making it work in retarded fashion. Like, you've never heard a system. I almost want to put a bet out there that you've never heard anything that sounds better, but someone would lie to get my money. But I mean, come by. It will be top 5 systems you ever heard in your life. I will guarantee that. And it has many things that don't make sense for people. A single tube powering, speakers that dip to 1.9 ohms. And you're going to play over 100 dB with like 25 hertz at over 100 at over 100 dB. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. The second I heard it, remember, you guys, okay, as the story went, I had a big panel rig and I had worked on that shit. It was my life's work. Okay. 30, whatever, 20 or more, because I was in the business. Hang on a second. Shane wants to say something, I'm sure, about his speaker placement. And then I'll go into, I got to not lose my train of thought. I was talking about, yes. Okay. Ordering. Remember, remind me. I ordered one as soon as I heard it. I ordered another one. Hey, Shane. Wait, hold on, buddy. Let me get you on here. For some reason, it's not connected to my thing. Hold on a second here. Where am I? Bluetooth. There we go. It automatically goes to a different one. Are you there, Shane?
Testicles, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it worked. Right on time too. Yeah. How are you, buddy?
Good, mate. Good, mate. I just wanted to say hi to the tribe, and rather than type, I thought I'd just very, very quickly get on there and say, yeah, my system looks in the room like, how does that work?
Totally.
But every single person that comes in there shits themselves.
Yeah, same thing.
Much the same as what happens with you in your place. And I get it, because if you are smart enough to get the room set up right, It's the body of the instrument to which we listen to our systems in. If you get that room right, like you've done, like I've spent time doing, then the system gets a chance to really show what it can do.
It's true. And it's like you can almost put anything in there and it sounds freaking phenomenal.
Yep.
Like I put those little ass 170s or 70s in there and they got bass and everything. And it's like, wow, you know? So yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I don't doubt that it sound. I know it sounds good. You know, like I trust that it sounds good. I believe you, and that's why
I'm hoping to get you down here, brother. One day we're going to run amok and we'll stick you on camera. And I know you're going to be talking about stuff that you probably don't want to talk about, but I also know you're honest enough to say that when you hear something that is worthy of mention, you'll praise it, and
of course,
and that's the whole reason why I'm a tribe member. It's the whole reason why I support what you do. I support the tribe. The whole process is really good for audio. It's really good because I said in a video I've just released on the Buck. I've only just released it last night or today. You guys would have it over there. And one of the points I make in my video is audio is becoming isolationary. It's becoming what you do is really good because I see videos with you having guys over there and you're having a sip on the whiskey. You're handing around some food. It's a tribal thing. We're pack animals for Christ's sake.
That's right.
We should be around each other. And if we're all like-minded around audio and we can have those kind of nights, I just smile from ear to ear when I see those videos you do like that, because that's what it's all about. And one of the things that I was scratching my head about with this Buck thing is the fact that it makes you a recluse. It makes you isolation-wise. You're just sitting in there listening to something that only you can hear at its best. When I have people sit beside me on the couch or stand up in the room, they're all still sitting there with their mouths wide open, shaking their head from side to side like a clown in a sideshow. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Somebody said, I think it was Larry, if Larry's still watching. Larry came in and listened, and he said, "Damn, dude, it's like the sound's coming up around the sides." And I just got a kind of a smile. I'm like, yep, exactly. That's what a really good setup rig does. You know, is you don't need any DSP for anything. But, you know, let's be honest, most rigs aren't set up that good. So they can benefit from DSP. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's a very good point. There's no doubt about it. There's a place in the market for this thing. There absolutely is. But if you dot all your I's and cross all your T's.
Car seems like the perfect thing for Bach to me. The inside of the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there are certain applications and certain problematic rooms where that is a great fix for the environment. But if you dot your I's and cross your T's and you're a true audiophile who really, really goes to that nth degree to get everything right, then it probably is surplus to your needs. But for a lot of other people, it absolutely has its place in the market. I certainly say to people, go out and listen to it. You'll work out really, really quickly whether it's for you or not, or whether it just drives you crazy and it's a gimmick. It's a thing that has its place for sure. But that's beside the point. I just wanted to come on here and say, once again, brother, love it. I'm always here and love what you do.
Thanks, brother. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Okay, man.
See you, man.
Cheers. See you. Okay. That was Shane, as you can tell, checking in from Australia. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe. Clark checking in from Oahu. Very interesting. New rig. Do you know Dan DeBaca's on here, man, from Big Island? Very interesting. New rig. Hope you had good time at the show. Yes, I did. My favorite part of the show is the dinners. I'm not kidding, man. It's the dinners. I've got hi-fi I've got hi-fi that beats all those rooms at home. So is it exciting for me to sit in somebody else's rig and do these after parties and things like that where they turn it up? It's fun to see people and get goofy and dance and stuff like that. But it's not about, the audio for me at these shows, because I surpass that in my own rig. So I go there for the social aspect of it and to meet business associates and things like that. But so did have a good time at the show, had some great dinners, and I will absolutely be doing the same thing this time around as well. Bob and some of these cats getting great speakers and equipment could start an Airbnb, just a small spot in front of the system, charge per hour. No doubt, man, right? Rentmyrig.com. Yeah, I've thought about shit like that. It's an interesting thought, but a little different take on that. Please talk about what makes the MPX special compared and how much does it cost? Compared to what? Like other streamers? Okay, there's one thing and one thing that is the main thing. MPD8 or any Playback Designs DAC has a unique input that is a ST glass fiber. It's not something that's brand new, but it is something that's used in the professional data center level. It's a twist lock fiber fiber optic, right? So just like the shit they lay under the ocean, the fiber optics, or whatever, AT&T glass fiber, it's glass fiber. It's the only way that you're going to isolate your DAC from your streamer. Every other streamer, I don't care if you use AES, USB, or whatever, you've got a shield connecting the two chassis. So you're going to have noise that transfers from the highly noisy streamer to your DAC. The only way you're going to eliminate that is using light and laser light instead of a signal on a wire, right? So you can do it with Toslink, but Toslink is a shitty interface. It's just a real wobbly, shitty interface. They only make shit ass, plastic cables. You can sometimes get them glass, which you should if you use Toslink. Get the glass ones. So it's a twist lock, but there's no streamer that outputs that except for the MPS-X. So that's the first advantage. You get a better hookup protocol and a higher bandwidth than Toslink. Toslink is limited to 24,192. ST glass fiber is like freaking gigahertz. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like it's not limited insofar as music is concerned whatsoever. So that's the first huge advantage. The second advantage is it's made by a genius. Okay. Andreas Koch. It never glitches. It never gets stuck. It never glitches. It never needs to be reset and rebooted. Like if you're running shit on your computer, I've got one guy in one of my discussion groups on the phone that just put HD player onto his laptop or something like that. And it's always glitching and bugging out, man. And he gets pissed all the time because his shit doesn't work. Okay. And that sucks. If you want to go play music and it's not connecting and it's not finding some shit and you have to reboot all sorts of crap to get your damn music, that's a waste of time, man. Okay. So that doesn't happen with Playback Designs. Okay. And it's only $11,500 for the streamer. Now, I know you guys might think that's a lot, for those of you that shop for things that are $2,000 and $3,000, it seems like a lot. Okay. But when we look at that, I feel that this streamer is as good as any, and it's a streamer, by the way, it's an endpoint. It's not a server. Okay. And for those that don't know, the distinction between a streamer and a server is a streamer just plays music back from another location. A server plays music back from itself. Okay. It has the storage, the library on it. A streamer does not hold the library nor manage the library. It depends on another computer on the network in order to play music, or it needs to just go to the internet. It doesn't necessarily need another computer unless you have your own library at home. Then it needs another computer and typically you just put a NAS drive, network attached storage. You put a hard drive onto the network and throw it in the closet. It's got your music and you map it, and then that's it. Okay. And you pull music from there if you want to play your own shit, right? Otherwise, you that's if you don't want to pay a subscription service to access their database. I like accessing other people's database because they have a bunch of music that I never would have, that I've never heard about. And if I want to go exploring, I can explore literally into a rabbit hole of music that I never even considered existed. And that is so fun for me to go that far away from my normal music listening, so that's why I like streaming. Anyway, so MPSX is the only solution for me with MPD8. It's just they go hand in hand. They're made for one another. I have heard other people that have bought MPSX and used it with their non-playback designs DAC and liked it better than the Grimm MU1. Liked it better than what were the other streamers? I can't remember. I just remember it's beat several of them, and I remember the Grimm standing out because a lot of people love the Grimm and think it's just the cat's meow. Well, the playback designs beat it. In this guy's rig, right? We can't maybe say that for everybody, but so it's a damn good server and streamer, not a server, and it's 11,500. So it's a natural upgrade. You actually can get that streamer and the DAC for the same price that you pay or less than you pay for an equivalent. And I don't even think there's an equivalent DCS. Maybe the Varese that's $250K. And I don't know of an equivalent MSB at this point. So really looking forward to getting it, going from a Sonos 5.1 to a dedicated listening room with real gear. So Bob's going from 0 to 100. He's going from Sonos, which is background music, to a $100,000 audio rig, you know, and he is going to be so blown away. It's not even going to be funny. It's like we're taking him from a Mazda and we're putting him in Larry's 865 horsepower Camaro, you know? So that's, this is going to be so much fun for me to go and to see Bob's reaction. It might even be, you might even have it all plugged in and set up before I get there. I don't know, man. You might not be able to wait. We'll get you all set up. How does the impedance go? How low does the impedance go for the 170 and the 270? Oh, I don't know. If you have an amp worth of shit, you don't need to worry about it. Let's put it this way. It's not worrisome. You know, what are you working with that you're worried about the impedance for such small speakers? You know, they're like 80. I think they're rated at they're 90 or 89, something like that. At the show, I brought 170s, or did I bring 270s? I brought 170s to the show, and I powered them with 30 watts. So you got nothing to worry about. Tommy says, nice shirt, my man. Takes me back. Yeah, baby. Right there. Steal your face. It's a good shirt, man. It's a classic. Rashawn, please talk about what makes, or is that Rashawn talking to Rashawn? Please talk about what makes the MPS. Okay, we already did that. I assume compared and how much I assume the AMT version does not make a difference for the impedance. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. Rashawn, you'd have to have a pretty wimpy ass amp to be concerned about little fractional differences in impedance. I can tell you the Fisher and Fishers are not hard to drive. They're high. The small ones are high 80s. They pop over to 90 plus dB. My big ass ones, I think, are 93 or 94 dB sensitive. So they're not hard to drive. I should, just for shits and giggles, put like a Jeff Rowland 125 on these things and see if it can power them. And I'll be willing to cook it and then just send it back if I need to. And then let me show you guys. Let me show you guys how easy they are to drive. I'll put a $4,000 amp on my $110,000 speakers. How about that? Would you like that? Could you talk about what makes we're doubling up? The 1000s are my new dream speaker, man. Absolutely fucking awesome. You better believe it, man. You ought to come and listen. And you know what, man? Those things will do more. You can get basically the same thing out of the 770. You just can't go to 11 with it. Well, you can go pretty high, but you can't go to 11 with the, you can like the 1000s will be totally more than you'll listen to, and you'll never use them at their full level. You tap out far before they do, right? The 770s will give you the at normal listening levels. Let's say 80 dB, 80 to 90 dB. The 770 is going to be almost identical. So and it's half. It's less than half the price, which is what's great. The 770 is a phenomenal, ridiculous value speaker. It's, I think, if I'm doing my math in my head right. I shouldn't do it because I could mess up, but I think it's 40K, 40 or 45. And this thing, it will outperform $110,000 Rockport, Wilson, Magico, Sonus. It will easily be every bit as good as something double the price. The 770 is a phenomenal. It's the same height as the 1000s. It just doesn't have the two big woofers on the back. Yeah, it's good stuff. And it's a lot less. Have you ever listened to an audio music DAC? Is that the one by the Russian dude in Sergey or something, or Vladimir in Minnesota? Is that one? Maybe someone in the tribe has some experience with this piece. It's got good reviews from international listeners. Yeah, I think I'm pretty. I haven't heard it. But tell me if it's the guy, the Russian guy in Minnesota, if that's his name. I think it's Vladimir, if I'm not mistaken. Mikey is a driver for sure. Right on, buddy. You know it, Lair. I'm not afraid of no car. I'm not afraid of a car. I get into your car and I want to rip it, bro. I want to really go, but I'm like, this thing will get us in trouble. I don't quite know it yet. If I was in a big parking lot, I could get used to it a little bit and know how it slides and then get it down so I could really go for it, but I love to drive hard, bro. I love to drive hard. It's like in my blood, man. In a former life, I was a driver for sure. I love the track on the bikes too, man. I just, it's a pilot, man. I'm piloting some shit, dude. I love running machines, man. It's great. Mikey's buying a COPO. What's that? What's that mean? I don't think is that a, okay, so that must be a reference to, is that a reference to a Corvette? What is it? LOL, just bought a new case SV340B skid loader. Oh, cool, man. That would be fun to play with. That'll be my hot rod for a bit. Dude, I love, my buddy repairs heavy equipment. And I'm like, dude, I want to drive a D7, bro. Put me on some heavy equipment. Let me drive that shit around. Let me mess with an excavator, I think there are parks that you can go and you can pay. I saw some in Minnesota when I was there. There's different places you can go rent, and they have a big freaking sandbox. It's a giant piece of land, right? But it's like a big adult sandbox, and you go jump on their heavy equipment and play with it. You can see what it's like to push earth with a D7 or D5 or whatever. That would be fun as hell. So yeah, a little skid loader would be cool too. That's a serious art, man. The way people that are good with those things, especially when they've got like the jackhammers on front and stuff, man, a good operator on one of those things, it's so cool to watch. It's seriously, I mean, this might sound gay, but it's like ballet. It's like dancing. It's a fluid art, man. It's really cool. If you're ever out in Colorado Springs seeing your buddy Jeff, come drive my 1600 horsepower Corvette. Shut up. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, dude. Tell us how you get 1600 horsepower. And then if it's 1600 horsepower, it's got to be a drag car, right? So that thing's like tubbed and like with wheelie bars and shit. Because 1600, you don't go anywhere. Like you don't get that to the ground unless you got it tubbed in big old slicks. And in that case, you're wheeling. Tell us a little bit more about that. I have a hard time believing that, but maybe make me look foolish. You've got a big ass engine coming out of your fucking hood. You don't even have a hood. Good evening, Hi-Fi Tribe. Drago checking in. Just finished Mahler's Symphony 2nd and processing my Pequod pizza leftovers for this week's food. I told Dan lives in Evanston, and I told him about Pequods, and he said I'd never had it. I'm a Lou Malnati's guy, and I stick to my routine. And he went today to Pequods and said, very possibly the best deep dish pizza I've ever had. Yeah. Oh, look, he says it right there. Pequod was easily the best deep dish pizza I've had in my life. And he's from there. So that says a lot, man. That's awesome. Peter, first name. What's up? I subscribed after watching your video short the other day. Sabbath was playing. Right on. We love to jam Sabbath, man. We love to jam whatever, but it's not the normal audiophile shit. I'll tell you that much. We're music people. I was just playing Bowie's Panic in Detroit. That's killer. You know what I played for some people the other day that they had never heard before was Mick Ronson's solo shit. If what's the name of the song? If you ever leave me. Oh, damn it. Again, man, I need to start taking my vitamins because I'm having brain aneurysms, brain farts. If you leave me, it's on. Anyways, it's a freaking sick guitar. So magical. Just, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a live album, and it's Mick Ronson, and he's singing, and he sounds kind of like Bowie, but he's such a good guitarist, man. I love Mick Ronson. I love the way he plays guitar. It's just so intuitive. It's like where your brain goes with the music, that's where he goes with the guitar. Other guitarists, sometimes, you know, you're like, oh, like where, what? Like your brain goes to where it would want to go, and then but the guitarist is going somewhere else, which is fine. But I maybe it's just my vibe and the way I process music. Ronson just goes exactly where my brain goes with his solos. He's so freaking good. Watching. Haywood always drops in watching, man. He's our creeper. He's like sitting there. He's sitting there in the trees, like he's like watching. Advice on system. Thanks for watching, Haywood. Advice on system building a system one component at a time, which to start with, the DAC. Well, you can look at it two different ways. Okay. I build my systems around the MPD8 typically. I think the DAC is the heart of a rig. It's the heart of a digital rig anyways. You know, you might also say the speaker, you know, but the thing is, when you start with the DAC, let's say a killer DAC, you're going to make your shitty speakers sound as good as they can. If you start with the speakers and you have shitty equipment, they're not going to sound as good as they can. So it gives you kind of more return up front to start with the DAC, in my opinion. Oi, what's up, Dave? Oi, are you in Great Britain? Oi, cheers, the rig, right on. King of Sheba, welcome, man. I can't afford none of this fancy stuff. I have make everything myself. It's all good, man. Look, that's what I used to do. I've got a ton of shit. I've got stuff. Look, if you guys want some gear, contact me because I have shit that I need to just get out of here. I'll sell it to you for a couple grand. I'll sell you, you know, like $50,000 speakers for $4,000. I have speakers that if they were ever produced, they would be 50 grand easily. They're two cabinets, a 15, a 12. The freaking mid range is a 10-inch mid. Think about the mid bass that thing puts out, and then it's an AMT, horn loaded AMT that goes down to 2,000. Actually, I'm sorry, it goes down to like a 1,200. It's really wide, so we get a killer mid bass. It's just and then I've got subwoofers. I've got two subwoofers that are the two stacks. It's got a center active sub and then two passives. And they were built with concrete inside. We made them with we made them with a curved, we cut plywood. We CNC'd plywood and stacked plywood to make them curve back. And then we put a slag on the inside with like that sticks to the walls with chicken wire. So it's concrete loaded. Incredible sounding subs, but I don't need them, man. And I'll sell them for something silly, man. Come here, bring a freaking truck, get the shit out of here. I've got room treatments, I've got killer DACs, I've got so much stuff, man. And if you're a tribe member, you know, like, look, a tribe member called me yesterday and asked me about the Meitner that I was asking, and I wanted. So it's a $9,800 piece. I asked $7,500 because it's brand new. And he said, hey, you know, what could you do for me? And I just told him, look, take it for $6,500. I took $1,000 off my lowest price just because I've got stuff here that needs to move. I need to get on to the new products that I have and sell my cool things that I've collected over the years or that I've made. And, you know, I mean, my speakers start at $2,000. My DACs start at $1,000. You know, so I take care of everybody. I don't only take care of the high-end clients. I'm especially good at that, but I don't leave anybody out. Larry, I thought there were speakers behind me. It was amazing from 2 speakers. Yeah, right? That's what he's talking about. That's what I was talking about, Larry, about when we were talking about DSP. It sounds like the music's coming from all around you. Trump's about free trade or nearly free trade. His tariff policy is a negotiating tool. Yes. Let's just hope that I don't get stuck with 47 on my incoming shit, because that'll bum me out, dude. But whatever. I'm willing to deal with whatever it takes to get this show on the road. We've got a huge debt that we need to take care of, and we need to figure it out. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Oh, hey, everybody. Yeah. I got to do it properly. Hi, Mikey. Glad to see you're feeling better. I've been really enjoying the feedback in your room about the 1000.1s in the shorts. we got to make a joke about in my shorts. Because I say that I'm talking about the short videos, you know, on YouTube, but I say in my shorts, and then it sounds like I'm talking about in my shorts. You got to look in my shorts, and I'm talking about the videos, not in my shorts, right? So Kenny is also down under. Kenny has a channel, Kenny's Hi-Fi Down Under, and Kenny is quite the actor. Him and Deborah will entertain you. He is a wingnut, I will say, and that's what I love about Kenny. He fits right into the tribe. So we love you, Kenny. And Deborah. Do you still have Klipsch Fortes? Just curious. No, those got sold, brother. They got sold to Frank in Asheville. And Frank also took some, then he came back and got some Nat Audio Tube monos that I needed. And dude, these were kick-ass. The new ones are 12,500. I sold them the ones that I had that were brand new, never even turned on, for $5,500. So I'm telling you, man, if you guys are tribes folk and you call me up, I have a special affinity to my tribes people. I will sell you stuff that I would never sell on the open market at that low price. I will basically give it away, you know, and especially if you come with a truck and you pick it up and you bring cash, then now we're really cooking with fire. I'm developing my AXPONA plan for now for the Friday session. Cool. Get it all figured out, buddy, because we will be dragging ass. We're not going to be running around having to see rooms. We're going to be strolling slow, talking, and you can't get anywhere with me. People stop me all the time to talk, and then it's people that I haven't seen, and I give them my time and I talk to them. So it's hard for me to get to places. I'd rather have a bad sounding room and listen a bit closer to the speakers and at a lower levels than having DSP chewed up sound. Very interesting. I am of that. I'm of that ilk too. I personally feel that many times, and it's not in all cases, but in some cases, DSP seems like the system is working hard to accomplish whatever it's doing. When you don't use DSP many times, it feels more effortless, and I like effortless sound. So I just don't use it. But it's not to say it wouldn't work. The Saturday session at AXPONA will be complicated, with Saturday being Passover and record store day. Well, what's the big deal about record store day? I don't even know. You get special discounts or something? Can't you get every day is freaking record store day, bro? Pesach, so they just don't eat. They don't eat. There's going to be some people fasting for the day. I actually don't know the whole thing for Passover, but it doesn't mean you can't go to a show, right? 32 float in my high-end prototypes, not 24. I don't know what that means. I'm going to audition MPD8 this week. I'm so looking forward to it. Cool. Where are you auditioning it? Because that can make a difference. Where are you auditioning it, and what gear is it being auditioned with? Do you know? Let us know. Hey, Mikey, how would you describe the difference between Audio Note versus Fisher & Fisher? Oh, boy. Audio Note, I can't judge on its own as far as speakers are concerned, because anytime I ever hear Audio Note, it's the full Audio Note rig. So I only know the sound of Audio Note as a complete system. I don't know the sound of Audio Note as just speakers, right? So I can't compare the two. But I would say any wood speaker, whether it's audio note, whether it's any other thing, Fisher & Fisher has a certain dynamic air compression in the mid bass, especially, that seizes the air. It's like, but you feel it. You feel it on your hairs. You feel it in the room. It's got better. It doesn't take up energy the way wood does. Wood will resonate. Wood will soak up certain frequencies depending on how the box is built. Stone does not do this. So stone has a greater output. So typically with the Fisher & Fisher, you would go down a speaker than you normally. It's like, sized one size small or something like that when you buy certain shoes and you have to get the one size down or something like that. They output more than you would anticipate. So typically if you're looking at a floor standard that's 4 foot tall, you would only need like the 3 foot one in Fisher & Fisher. You can go one size smaller and still fill out your room than you would anticipate that you might need. And there's nothing like the Fisher & Fisher. There's nothing like it. It is truly a unique piece. And everybody is so happy with them. They're really, and I will be at some places and we will bring people on with the new. We'll bring Don on. We'll bring Bob on. How to know if there's an issue with our electric? Should we get some kind of noise sniffer tool? Absolutely, and put it close to our outlet or maybe close to our components. You actually plug it in. It's called an AC line noise. They don't call it sniffer, but noise meter. Noise meter. I think it's called a noise meter. And it's got little numbers. It's a little black plastic case. It has a 9-volt battery. It's got some switches on it, and it gives you a number readout. And then you plug that thing right into your socket. I think it's got like a IEC on one end and a plug on the other. Can't remember. No. It's got a plug that goes in, and you just plug it right into the wall. You plug it right into the wall, and then you'll hear all the high frequency noise. It's called like I said, AC line meter, noise meter. Just look up AC noise meter, and you'll find it. Yes, absolutely, you should put that, and then you'll see how noisy your line is, and then you plug it into a Puritan 156, and it goes to 0. It goes from like 180 to 0. It's crazy. 0. Nothing really typically makes it go to 0. You can bring it down to maybe 1 or 2, but the only time I ever saw it go to 0 was a 156. I lose hours trolling through Qobuz for one track to another with the next suggestion, so and so. It's great fun. Yeah, he's talking about streaming. I heard the Grimm Audio MU2, which is our current flagship, and I can also say I preferred the sound of the playback designs over it. Yeah, it's not a bad piece, but when you heard playback, it kind of changes things. What does hi-fi sound mean? You typically heard it as a diss on a UK speaker brand. Okay, so that's not the way I use it. Okay, so UK typically is not hi-fi sound to me. What brand? Typically UK speaker brands are polite. They're the opposite of hi-fi. So hi-fi is analytical. Hi-fi is like Wilson, Magico. Those are hi-fi sound. It just sounds uber shiny and perfect and utterly devoid of soul. That is hi-fi sound. That is what that means to me anyways. That's how it's used when I use it. I call UK speaker brands and generally UK type sound is polite to me. It doesn't have any grit. It doesn't have the balls in the slam and the gut wrenching, that something else would, like a German speaker, a Denmark speaker, or an American speaker. So I think somebody he might have meant soft by hi-fi sound, but that's not how I use hi-fi. Hi-fi sound means analytical to me. At the high level of your rig, do you still occasionally hear some hard, harsh notes coming through on a recording? Is it always 100? It's 100%. Look, you can hear where something is been recorded hot, but it does not make you turn off the song. Okay, so there are systems where when you play certain songs, it makes you cringe. It's unlistenable. It's horrible. You have to turn it off. and then you put on something that was recorded well, and it's like totally beautiful. I can't stand that. That is a system that only lets you listen to 50% of the music if you're lucky, because half of the shit out there is recorded weird, for car stereos or whatever. Right. So my system, you can listen to absolutely anything, and nothing will run you out of the room. You'll just maybe go, okay, I see how it was recorded. Like, and I tell you guys which songs to use for that. You can use Audio Slave, Like a Stone. You can use that is a great one. You can use Radiohead Creep. It's another great one for that. And you can use Duran Duran, Ordinary World. Those three are all edgy guitar. Radiohead Creep has edgy guitar, noisy. You have to be able to hear the cymbal and hear him singing through I'm a Creep with this distorted, loud guitar. Like a Stone, Audio Slave also has intense guitar. And then Duran Duran is just like, on a lesser system, it will. There's no bass, you don't hear there. There needs to be full bass on Ordinary World for it to work out. Trash in, trash out. No, not true. Not true. Trash in, trash out in an analytical rig. Okay. So like a mastering system for a mastering rig in a recording studio or something like that. And even then, those guys have big subwoofers, so it might not even sound bad there. You can put, I use Lead Belly, 45 recordings of Lead Belly as like the shittiest possible recordings I could find, and you listen to it on my rig and you're like, okay, I can hear that it's not a great recording, but I'm getting all the soul out of his music. I'm feeling every thing that he's laying down. Like I'm picking it all up. I'm getting his song, his story. I'm getting it. And that's the thing, is to connect with the music and not be locked up in analysis paralysis. So a system that could be hi-fi sounding or perfect in some people's eyes could be analytical to the point where you're locked into analysis. That means it's so excruciatingly exact that it overdoes it, and it gets to a point of analysis. And when I say analysis paralysis, I mean that. I mean that you can't get your freaking thoughts off what it sounds like. You can't drop it. When you get in a music system that is done properly, in my opinion, the way I tune, your brain is not locked in analysis. You are way more engaged into the music rather than how it sounds. You're into what that music is, what the story is, when it was written, who wrote it. Wow, this is a love song, or this is man, he's angry during this one, or shit, this one means this, or what's that weird instrument, or how are they layering that? That's really wild. It's all music centric thoughts. It's not about the how does it sound, the sound presentation. And so hi-fi typically will be trash in, trash out. It's like you can't listen to a lot of shit because you're analyzing it all the time, and then it's no fun. But you can put, and of course, trash in depends on how trashy. I mean, you could listen to some old ass punk rock on my rig and you'd get it, but you'd probably be, oh, this is really shitty recording, but it doesn't run you out of the room. Mikey, Deborah, and I have just added Soul Note X3 clock generator to our rig. Also purchased reference clock cables in synthetic glass fiber cable. Really added to the rig. Awesome, buddy. Glad to hear you're making improvements, man. You guys got to get together with Shane and compare notes. 4K for an amp. Wow, I'm stacking 3255 modules with EDLC on the supply side. Okay, so I don't even know what the fuck that is. And German polys on the preamp. You're talking about poly caps on the preamp section. Lithium powered. All I can afford. 16 by 315 or 8 by 630. I like 8 fuzzy chip amps. Okay, so you've got me. You're in a world that I don't understand, because this is like DIY stuff. I'm guessing these are, you say chip amps, so I get that. Those can be really good. Good for you, man. There's a way to get good sound out of that. I've heard some amazing sounding chip amps before. They will cook if you use them on speakers that are too demanding, but if you get them hooked with the right speakers, you can get a lot. And typically I'll give you some um, hints or some pointers. Listen closer to the speakers. Someone mentioned it already on the stream. Get closer to your speaker, and it will sound better. You can do more when you sit closer. The further away you get, you've got to overcome the room anomalies. Okay, and it takes a bigger speaker and a bigger amp. It takes more shit to make it sound good when you're far away. When you're close, it's much easier because you're not involving the room. And look, if you're connecting to the music, JD, that's all that matters, brother. Then you're in the family, man, because we're music people above the gear. So if you are a music dude, then we love the fact that you ride with us on your moped. That's how I started out, dude. When I was riding motorcycles, everybody else had a dirt bike. My little brother got a dirt bike. Andy had a KX. My brother had a KX80. Andy had a YZ80. Tommy had a 185S Honda three-wheeler, and Mikey didn't have shit. So you know what I did? I took my dad's old Allstate scooter, the 125 scooter, and I took that thing off road. Clunk, 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 bump, bump, bump. But that's the kind of dude I am. I don't give a shit. If I can't, I'm gonna go be with the gang. And if I need to ride a freaking scooter, give me it. I'm gonna jump that motherfucker, right? I will jump that scooter. I'll wheelie that bitch. You're gonna see someone do some shit on that scooter from 1969 that you've never seen before, right? The scooter was a 69. So that's gumption, what I'm talking about, right? That's real gumption. So when someone comes to me and tells me they're fucking fired up because they've got whatever lithium batteries powering their chips that they sourced from, wherever, Micro Center, and they've got alligator clips holding shit on, and they're jamming out and they love it and they're totally stoked, and we're talking about music, you're part of the gang, brother. You're family. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the gear that you have. You're part of the family. You've got the heart, and that's what this is all about. That's what the Hi-Fi Tribe is. It's about heart. So I'm stoked, bro. Welcome to the tribe, brother. Keep hanging in there, man. Little by little, you'll get there. And you know what? If you stick around enough, you might get some hand-me-downs, which is even more special because there's a lot of us have a shit ton of gear sitting around that we don't care about. I mean, it may be stuff that you'd be fully stoked about, like $500 amps. We don't care about $500. We'd be like, shit, take it, brother. And so stick around, man. You may end up with some hand-me-downs. Stick around, show some gumption, show some spirit, and you'll be taken care of, man. You got a good group. Dave can set you up on all the heavy equipment you want to drive if you are down my way, bud. My mom's husband owns a company that maintains the stuff. Well, maintains the stuff. That means we're driving the customer's shit. That's probably not cool. But where are you? Where are you? Down my way. I'm pretty down because I'm in Georgia. So where are you? Florida or Louisiana? Where the hell are you, brother? I'm coming down. I want to do it. I want it. You can show me how to drive it, man, or somebody can. I don't know how to drive them, but put me on there and I'll drive it. Mick Ronson, you know it, brother. He shreds so much soul. So killer. Like, man, I gotta find this song because I'm gonna play it for you guys, and then it'll mean that I can't damn monetize this video. They'll block it, but because they do that all the time when you play damn music. Let me go here because I want you guys to hear this song. It's so killer. Okay, let me find my Qobuz. Okay, let me go here, and then let me go to. Oh shit, I gotta update the app. Update. Let me update it for a second and then I'll come back to it. I'm gonna find that tune because it's so good. Tony Visconti, rad producer for Tony V and Bowie. Okay, cool. Pequod's Pizza was recently rated the #1 pizza in the United States. Holy shit, bro. See? Do I know my shit? I think I know my shit. Check out Mick Ronson's guitar work on Elton John's reissue Madman. 7 or 9 minutes long or something like that. Yeah. Dude, I do know that solo. Wow. That's epic shit, brother. Good looking out. That's good looking out, bro. The other one is a Bowie tune, and it's a live show, and it's him and Bowie, and he just is it Ziggy Stardust? I'm trying to think of the song. I have to find it, but that's how I learned about Mick Ronson. Is I saw him playing with Bowie, and he did this solo that was like such a shred fest. I was like, dude, who the fuck is that guy? Like, I'm not, why don't I know about him? And then it was like, then I started looking at his other stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this guy. I love the way he plays guitar. It was so good. And so he's got some solo stuff. Okay, so let's see. Okay, search, and I can go Mick Taylor. It's right here in my list, so it knows. So funny. The freaking phone's listening to me. Okay, so I remember what the album cover looked like. He's got some. Oh no, not Mick Taylor. Damn it, Mick Ronson. Damn it. I did that last time. Let's see, Mick Ronson, Ronson. Mick Ronson, artist. There it is. Okay, so the album is called Only After Dark. It's funny. He's got the full like mullet, like the, like that shag that they had back then. Only After Dark. Let's visit. Let's go to the album. Where do I go to the album? Only After Dark. Man, let's see. Play and see if it brings up. Or is this the song? Yeah. See how it starts. I don't even know this part of the album, but let's see how it is. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. That is a song for the times. Clearly, you could tell it's dated. It has that sound, and it's probably killed. Here it is. Okay, I'd give anything to see you is the name of the song. So it's on Mick Ronson, Only After Dark. I'd give anything to see you. Now listen to this. It's a ballad, but and it's a love tune. Check this out. You got to hear this full tilt on your rig. See those loose like strums that fill in the
If you need me, why don't you come home?
That loose when they're just like letting go.
Then don't stay alone.
Listen to all those little accents in there. It's just so juicy. It fucking kills me, man.
Not the telephone.
I love that. Like that is some real.
I'm not alone.
That is real heart in playing. There was so much emotion in that tune. He is 100% in it, and you can so feel it. All those little accents, all those little when he doesn't need to strum, he's done with his chord, but then he just drops his hand away, and it's like this accent strum that comes in. It's like so beautiful. It colors all these different areas. It's just it's ear candy. I feel it in my heart. It's like that's emotional for me. That is some emotional ass shit. And I play it on my rig, and it's like it brings tears to my eyes, man. So beautiful. So yeah, Mick Ronson solo stuff is great. Try some Robin Trower. Yes. Yep. Robin Trower is one that I don't know too well, but I know he's badass. Somebody else came by. This guy was a real Robin Trower guy, and he turned me on to some of that. I can't remember the name of the album. I know what the album cover looks like. Yes. 24 again. I'm going to go listen to my 32 float. The hell does that mean, dude? 32 bits floating some shit. I don't know what that means. Mikey, have you seen Jay's Audio Lab where he goes over to Ron's sound room? That was the best and most entertaining video. Why was it entertaining? That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad he's doing some entertaining stuff, man. Robert Fripp's guitar on Bowie's track Heroes, mixed by Tony Visconti. Oh, okay, cool. Fripp is cool too, man. He's got some wild stuff. Fripp is in that Prague arena. Hey, Mikey, love the show. Thanks. What do you got, man? Trying to see. Is that a Camaro? Or is that a Vet? Is that a Camaro or is that an old 67 Vet? I can't zoom in on this. I wish I could zoom in on your thing. I can't see what it is. What's up, Mikey and Tribers? Cheers, Luther. What's up, Luth? Good to see you, man. Did you see Jay's face when he was testing Danny's new speakers at the new Record Day room using a cheap-ass dork Audio Class D amp, which cost about $200? He was shocked by his performance. What he's shocked by is a room that's set up right. You know, if you set up a room right, pretty much anything sounds killer in there. And Ron built that room, you know, from the ground up. So the cheap shit does not do what the expensive stuff does, no matter what. If you put our rig in Ron's room, you'd fucking fall down and have a heart attack, right? It's just Ron has a very well done room that's done properly. So you could put a freaking JBL tune pod in there and it would sound freaking awesome. And look up Copo Camaro on Google. Okay, let's see. I'm going to look it up. Copo Camaro. Oh, wow. Ooh. That thing looks nasty. That looks like a NASCAR. His is a 632. Are you kidding me? Jesus, what the? And I can see that engine looks. That thing looks nasty. That's got to be over 1,000 horsepower. Yeah, it's a drag car. I'll show you a picture of Larry's just from the front. Let's see, where are we? Because I'm like, dude, I got to take some pictures. I almost did a video while we were in the car, but I was too into the experience. I'm like, I want to be fully present for this automobile experience. And when you're taking a video, you're not fully present. And so let me see. Okay, so I saw that. So here, whoops, come on, damn it. I pressed the button by accident. Okay, here we go. Why doesn't it focus? Come on, bitch, focus. There we go. Look at that thing. The wing and all that shit. That thing was bad to the bone, bro. Bad to the bone. Thing smoked, dude. It was a ripper. A full tilt ripper. Howler. Thing just howled. I love the sound. And just there was, dude, orgasmic downshifts. Just total ear orgasm. The automatic blip on that shit. You sound like a professional fucking driver. It's just like heel toe. Like you're heel towing fucking perfectly. Whoop, 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 you know, just like, oh, and then just right it. And it sets it up for just the ideal downshift. It's got to be so great on the track. Just every turn, you just boom right there at proper RPMs. Oh my God, dude. Get me in a car on a track and I'm probably going to I'll be hooked. I don't think I'll be able to, I'll have to go buy a car. I will have to buy a track car. What makes a rack high quality? How do you go about choosing one without seeing or hearing it? 5K plus range. Well, everybody's going to give you a different story. Okay. What makes it high quality in easy terms are it's made out of high quality, solid componentry, right? It's not flimsy. It's very solid. You don't want it made out of wood. Okay. You want it made out of, in my opinion, you want it made out of some sort of metal. Wood is just not a good material. It's beautiful. Okay. And you know what? If you want a beautiful wood rack, you can put the little metal ones underneath, you know, the Live Vibe underneath your components on the wood, and it will do a similar thing as to having the whole metal rack. But in my opinion, you want metal underneath your gear, none of the rubber stuff. That's just my opinion. So how do you go choosing one without seeing or hearing it? Jesus. You know, either you trust somebody like me, for instance, or whoever your seller is, and you just trust that what they tell you is good if you trust their ears. Or you find something that you think is beautiful and you just fuck it. You get something that's beautiful that looks nice, you know? So It's tough. Go to AXPONA, go to things like that, see them in real life, and get a feeling for it. Having the Experience Hendrix tour coming to Greenville, man, I saw that, brother, and I want to go so bad, but it's right during freaking AXPONA. Damn it. I would have gone there for sure, bro. Yeah, I saw that shit, man. I want to go to that, and I'm not going to be able to. Hi, International Forum. See you at AXPONA this weekend. There is Angie. Angie, we've nicknamed Angie the Oracle, the audio Oracle. So Angie's been in the industry. She's been in the industry since, I was in freaking high school. And she knows everybody and just seen it all. And she's so fun to have dinner with and discussions with and whatever. And when she tells you something, just listen to it. Just do what she says. She knows what she's talking about. Angie's like would be a mentor to me. I greatly respect Angie, and I would listen to her and shut up. Except for the preamp thing. That's a little thing we have a little like inside joke between us. But we will see Ange. Maybe someday we'll have her on the show, and you'll meet Ange, the Oracle of the audio Oracle, we call her. She is the grande dame of audio, or the matriarch of audio. A true badass. Dan Ibaka, Mikey, given no speaker is perfect except for Fisher and Fisher. What do you think are the shortcomings, limitations of any? The shortcomings would be, and I don't know how much of a shortcoming it is, because once you place it, you don't really move it, but they're heavy. So they're heavy. Okay, so they aren't, they're going to take an amplifier that isn't like, you can't power them with 8 watts. Okay. The bigger they are, the better they play at low volumes. So if you have a smaller one and you want to play at low volumes, you're going to need to sit closer to it to get all the dynamic and the bass out of it, right? If you're in my 20 by 20 room and you have the 170s, you're going to need to turn them up a little more. So you're going to need a decent amplifier, but nothing more than 100 watts. They're black and they're very macho looking. They're very, masculine looking, I guess. So for somebody that wants pretty, organic, thing, like a YG Acoustics, which looks like I'm not going to say what it looks like. It looks very feminine. Let's put it that way. So that's what makes it beautiful, right? But to me, it's not timeless. Brutalism or, Bauhaus type, very straight lines and dark, like the way Fisher, I love that design. It's timeless. It's never going to get old. But curves and things that are very stylized, to me, can age. So I don't see any shortcomings, quite honestly. I mean, I'm searching for them to give you something. So, but to me, there's no shortcoming other than maybe the weight. But like I said, once you set them, and my girlfriend and I put these things together. Now the 1001s I couldn't do with my woman alone. I needed 2 other guys. There needed to be 3 guys to put them up. Okay, that was it. But once they're set, I can push them myself on their furniture sliders on the carpet. I can get down and push them and wiggle them and move them an inch at a time. Wilson Benesh, know nothing about them. Know nothing about them. What up, Mikey? Disco Biscuits are coming to Asheville. Oh, it's Frankie. If you want to come get down for a weekend in June, this is the guy that got the Klipsch speakers, man, and the tubes. Get down for a weekend in June. The new system's looking epic. Looking forward to check it out next time in Atlanta. Yeah, dude. That sounds fun, man. Disco Biscuits was a fun show, dude. That's high energy. I like high energy shows, and that shit was high energy. That was fun. Into the music so much you're a millisecond ahead of it. You know it, man. Hey, Tribe, please give Mikey a like or subscribe, as it doesn't cost anything. Show the love. Do you all agree it's wonderful being into music, appreciating music on nice rigs? Music is awesome. High five. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't given me a thumbs, and subscribe to the channel, man. It only just helps the algorithm, and whatever. I don't do this for money. I sell systems for money, but it lets me know that people like my content, right? When you guys subscribe and give me thumbs up, that's all it does. It lets me know that it gives me support, and you're not giving me money. I'm not asking for Patreon. I'm not, I'm selling all sorts of shit in my description where I've got all these affiliate links and all that shit. I'm not pimping you. Okay. So show me your appreciation for not pimping you, please. And give me a thumbs up and give me a support. Subscribe if you haven't, because then I know I can just keep on. Then I don't start thinking, oh, maybe I need to put merchandise up. Maybe I need to, do all this. Maybe I'll get more likes if I put merch up. I don't know. Just give me your thumbs up, damn it. Love your scooter story. And yes, hanging with people is the point. That's it, man. Life is about relationships and friendships and being with the people we love. By the way, I need to take this sponsor break and tell you this show tonight is sponsored by me and all my greatness. My own money and my own time, man. There's nobody paying for anything. Sponsored by yours truly. Is it normal for Class AB amp rated for 4 ohm, 120 watts per channel to get too hot to touch driving Maggies? Depends on the design. That sounds typically like it's some older school design. The older ones, older amps, AB amps would get really hot. The newer ones can too. It depends on how they're biased. So it depends on the amp and the circuit and if they have a high Class A bias. If they have a high Class A bias, then the heat is absolutely normal. And when you're running an amp at 4 ohms, 120 watts per channel, so that's a small amp. That means it's a 60 watt per channel amp normally. Okay, so that's a little amp. So you're asking that amp to do a lot of work. I would say get a bigger amp. You can get 100 watt at 8 ohm would be what I would suggest for Maggie's, and that would be 200 at 4. Louisiana, okay, cool, man. Where in Louisiana? You in Houma? Are you down south, brother? How do you like some of the older Roland battery supplies for his older preamps and amps? No way. Don't get me wrong. Jeff is a great guy and I love his designs, and he was always ahead of the game, and he's not shy to adopt new technologies in the search for ultimate sonic. But now I can't remember if it was a battery or a toroid. Did he also have early switching power supplies? All I know is I had a Model 112, Model 12s. I'm sorry, Model 12 monoblocks, and they could be with either linear power supply or I can't remember. Was it battery or was it switching? Whatever it was, Jeff told me get the linear power supply. That was from Jeff himself. He told me to get the old-fashioned big-ass toroid power supply. So that's that. I would stick with those. If you can break it, he will fix it. Oh yeah, that's right. Jeff will fix it if I break that shit. Oh, that's what you're talking about, the equipment. If I break the shit. Yeah, exactly. And look, what does it take to break some damn heavy equipment? You know what I mean? You got to really be messing around. I would be very cautious. But cool, man. I'm into it. I just want to come down to Louisiana to eat, bro. Get a crawfish boil going. And is it normal for Class AB amp to have some kind of slight speaker hum, or does that mean we need to float the ground? You should try checking the ground. Your amp should not have any speaker hum. No amp should have speaker hum. There is something called the noise floor, but that is a high frequency hiss. And so if you put your ear right to the tweeter, you'll hear a hiss in some occasions. Okay. In my rig, that shit is dead nuts silent. There and I've got tubes, and there is, you put your ear right up to the tweeter. There isn't anything. There should be nothing. Okay, in a high level rig. But very commonly, you put your ear to the tweeter, you'll hear like a hiss, high frequency hiss. That is the noise floor, and the lower the noise floor, the better. But if you have a hum, you got a ground issue, so you need to figure that out. You need to plug everything into one socket. You need to lift the ground if you need to, whatever you need to do. But lifting the ground means there's no protection, so you could get electrocuted, potentially yada yada if it were too short out. So but as long as it's grounded through its interconnects, that still might not be a problem. Yeah, you don't want hums. That's not good. It's not normal. Width of a Circle live solo with Bowie that was also out of this world creative. Cool. Been listening to David Gilden's music past week. Found the springtime dance he plays in. Again, just another treat with David. Thank you. You bet, Eric. Ian Hunter and Mick Ronson. Once bitten, twice shy. Oh, that's got to be killer. Nice. Bridge of Sighs. That's the Trower album. That's exactly it. Clips Jubilee seems badass, dude. That did look badass, and I think they got a lot of potential. It's funny that you mentioned Clips Jubilee, because remember when I talked about the big rooms having executives that don't know how to set up rooms? Clips was the exact example that was a crying shame of it. I went into the Clips Jubilee room, and it was too horn sounding. It was too bright, man. Too much high energy. It was not balanced out. It was just bad, and it was just, oh God, come on, man. How are you guys doing this? And I went up and I asked, I remember asking the guy about, I asked him a question about biamping. No, I asked him a question about, I asked him, I can't remember exactly what the question was now, but the way he answered me, he totally didn't know what was up. And I'm like, okay, I need to talk to the tech guy. Like, this guy is an executive, you know, you could see he was executive level, but he didn't understand how the system hooked up, which I get it. Okay. He's there to run a business, not to set up audio systems or even know how to set up audio systems. He needs to know how to make a business profit, you know. But I went up to the active crossover, and both low and high were pinned right straight up. They didn't even adjust the active crossover for the room. It was just on its default straight up and down settings. I was like, this is so stupid. I could have reached in and clicked down the highs 2 clicks, but I'm like, no, you know, they don't deserve me to do that shit for them. Let them run all freaking weekend with their shit sounding like ass, just to so people understand, you know. There's different mentalities in this game, you know. There's different mentalities. You'll find that out. Some people are business people pushing boxes and concepts, and other people are just maybe not the best business person, and they're into and they're just passionate about it, you know. So yeah, they do seem badass, but they do need to be set up properly. Procol Harum, Gates of Serdes from first album. Great Robin Trower guitar. Cool, man. Awesome. If you're running class A, B monoblocks, is it normal for one block to be running slightly warmer than the other? No, you know, not really. They should be identical. Do you have a temperature gauge? Do you have like one of those laser temp things that you can shoot at the heat sinks and see? And then if it's a couple degrees, it's no big deal. But if it's 10 degrees, one's running hotter, man. One's biased higher. The bias, they're not equaled out. They're not matched, you know, most likely. So you need to you take them to a place and say, match the bias on these, man, because one's running hotter. You know, something's a little weird. If it's just a couple degrees, again, no big deal. But if it's a pretty big difference, then something's up. That means you might possibly have higher gain on one side, you know. MPD8 lead times, August. I'm getting 5 in August, and one is pre-sold. You put your money down now because they just keep getting more and more desirable. More and more people are buying them. So contact me, and I can get you on the list. What happened with Billy Baggs? I don't know who that is. I don't know. Is that the Stands? Wasn't that the Stands? They're gone. Who knows? Central Office Production Order. Central Office Production Order. Don't know where to put that into the conversation. A Datsun 240C with an is that what it is, brother? Is that I had a 240Z with a 350 aluminum head, aluminum headers, or stainless headers, aluminum heads, stainless headers, Camaro engine, 350, Tremec T6. Can't remember what the rear end was. And what do they call those things again? 350Zs or something, or what did they call them? There's a name for the 240 with the big V8, and I had one, brother, and but it was, and this guy had built it so well, all from Jegs. He had every receipt from Jegs, and I saw all the money this guy put into it. The whole drivetrain was beautiful, but the body needed to be redone, and the interior needed to be redone, and it didn't have. It had the Toyota truck brake conversion on the front, right? Didn't they take Toyota truck road front brake kit? So it didn't have the Wildwoods. It needed Wildwoods all the way around, and it needed a roll cage because you'd floor it and you could feel the freaking body twist. There was so much torque, but Jesus, that thing was fun as hell. But it was scary as hell because it didn't have the brakes and it didn't have the proper suspension, and it had like Tokiko, or Coney Sport or something. I can't remember what was on it, but it didn't have proper rubber. It still had slotted mags, 15s, slotted mags. But boy, that thing was a badass. So I know what those cars are all about. Yours looks like it's done a little better, like a lot better. An LS1, so you've got a Corvette engine in it. That's pretty cool, man. I'd like to see more of that car because I know I had one similar. They're fun. It's a total sleeper. Well, it's not a sleeper. When you start it, people know it's not a sleeper. Like you got this 240 and you start it, it's like, and it's like, okay, that's clearly not a Datsun engine in there. It's clearly not an inline six, Let's spend the night together. Ronson interview talking about his Class A Suzuki Stardust. Mick Ronson interview outtake from Hang On to Yourself. Sweet, man. Fire. If you had mercy, I'd buy merch. I'd buy a shirt. I will. I'll make some cool merch. It'll be cool, cooler than any of the others. Northeast part of the state. Okay, isn't there an army base up there? Isn't that the northeast? Oh wait, no, that's the northwest part of the state, I think. Anyways, cool. Northeast is pretty close. It's not far from me, man. I'm gonna take a train to New Orleans. Mikey, thoughts on Carry tube amps, American made? I don't really like Carry. I don't know why. I don't really have a reason. I just crossed it off my list, and I just never went there. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I don't think they ever stood out in terms of excellence for me, but I don't know really why. I'll just tell you, I don't know. Certain brands just I don't vibe with them. I don't know what it is, and then I cross them off my list. When I first started doing this and going to the shows, I'd go in rooms and I'd go, "Let me get the vibe of this room." I went into Jeff Rowland's, and Jeff Rowland talked to me, looked me in the eye, gave me the respect. I was like, okay, I like this brand. This is a for sure brand that I dig. I walk into another room, Boulder. This guy's a complete jackass, like rude, dickish. And I'm like, okay, I'll never care. I don't care how good this shit sounds. I'll never have Boulder. I don't want it. If it means supporting that guy, forget it. PS Audio just doesn't float my thing. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of in the middle. It's not really an exotic. There's nothing really that pulls me towards it. So I didn't like that. So I crossed that one off the list. Parasound, great stuff. John Curl designed or whatever. Cross that off the list. I'm not into Parasound. Carry was one of the ones that got the axe. I don't know. They got cut from the program early on. So I don't know much about Carry. And I don't really have a reason, but they got cut because I just didn't dig the vibe. I go by vibe. You'd really have to mess up to damage a cat. Yeah, I know, especially a dozer, man. Probably need to talk to Roy Delgado. Who's Roy Delgado? I'm dropping it. Does a speaker cable could make a good power cable? Sometimes, but you need 3 conductors. And I doubt shielding and alimentation cable could prevent, what's alimentation? Could prevent RF and EMI from enter 1 miles of electric cables. Could be an antenna before the socket. Right, you have to filter it. You have to filter. So if you make a power cord that filters, then it works. Metal stands from the late 90s. Oh yeah, belly bags. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're also piquing my interest in nice watches, Mikey. What's on the wrist tonight? It's a Jaeger LeCoultre. So otherwise known as JLC. Yeah, it's called a Polaris. It's they also make one that I really love called the Reverso. This has been this company has been around a very long time, and they call this brand the watchmaker's watch. So when you go to like the watch stores, many times the guys that own the watch store will be wearing JLC. See if I can get a better. It's hard to see. It's yeah, you'll see it. I'll probably wear it when I come out to California. It's got that nice gold hue to it. Very fine Swiss watch. Yeah, yep. There's you kind of have to figure out like what you want. If you want something that you're going to wear every day, do you want something that's a dress watch? Do you want something that's a sport watch? Do you like a lot of people like diving watches, and I don't necessarily like them. I don't like these big clunky hunky things with a bunch of numbers on the bezel. Not into it, like Rolex, some of those like Submariners and shit. They're growing on me in a weird way. I don't normally like them, but somehow they're so classic and everything else tries to copy them that at one point you kind of just want one to have an original. Like the Pepsi is the one that I kind of like because it's so unmistakably a Rolex. They have really stupid names for their shit. Pepsi, Root Beer, Kermit, Hulk, Starbucks, just stupid names. I don't know how they come up with, which makes them even less appealing, but everybody like wants them or something, but I'm not a Rolex guy. Yeah, we can talk more, Bob. I'll teach you what I know, which isn't that much, but it'll be cut and dried. I'm interested in playback designs, but I'd like to first try out an older model, such as the Merlot. Well, good luck. Have you heard that model, and what is your opinion on trying their older gear first? Well, I mean, if you need that, like to trust somebody, okay? So like, in other words, you could trust me that the MPD8 will be the best DAC that you've ever heard, okay? If you need proof, like you don't trust my word, okay? And you have to hear it yourself, that's fine. If you buy an older one, you will get a taste of what playback designs is. And some people I've heard that put the older ones, even like the MPD5, which was from a previous generation before the Dream series, which is the breakthrough series, in my opinion. And they're like, best thing I've ever heard. And I'm like, Jesus, man, you haven't heard anything yet. So yeah, you can try Merlot. If you can find a Merlot, get one. As a matter of fact, the Merlot board, the DAC that's in the Merlot is the same one that's used in the Nagra $60,000 tube, DAC. They use that same converter because that converter, that board out of the Merlot was sold to other companies for them to put their analog output stage on. And so it's a very good one, but it's not as good as MPD6 or MPD8. I have heard that model, and my opinion on trying the older gear first is, look, if $26,000 is in your budget, for a DAC, then I say, why bother? Just buy the good DAC and save yourself all the time buying and selling. Just go to where you need to go to, get to the end, buy the last DAC you'll ever buy. I will guarantee that you will be thrilled with it. If you are not at all, if you think, oh, this isn't that great, or it's not what I expected, I'll give you 100% of your money back. Okay. No restock fee, anything like that. So I will guarantee not that that there's nothing wrong with it. I will guarantee that you're absolutely blown away and in love with it. That's my guarantee to you. I don't think it could be any stronger, quite honestly, or your money back, right? So, take my hand and take the leap, man, because I've got 60 or more of these pieces in the field, and none of them, knock on wood, I looked for wood, you saw me, have come back from return, and I have a bona fide return policy, and everybody's thrilled. They love them. It's a very, very good DAC. So, but if you want to go slow, no problem. I'm here for you when you're ready. But the Merlot is discontinued, and so you'll have to find a used one. And it's funny, they sell for the same price as they did. You find a used Merlot, they were $6,000 DACs. You find a used Merlot, it's selling for $5,000. That's how well these retain their value. Anyways, John Crypto, dude, I've been buying like crazy, brother. I'm stacking the cryptos. I buy every day. Hey Mikey, hoping to meet you this weekend. Been watching you for years and member of the tribe. Cool, man. You can tell me what you know about crypto and see if I'm buying the right things. I've got 3. If you do, you'd be the 3rd guy since you put crypto in your name. I'm guessing you're into it. I've got Crypto J in Philly, and then I've got damn it. See, I'm having recall issues. My guy down in Florida, 2 guys that have just been freaking researching this shit like crazy. And I tell them, and they each tell me what they like. And then I cross check, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you're buying the right shit. Way to go." They're like, so I guess it's been unanimous with those guys. So I'd like to check with you if you think the things that I'm buying are right, but it's not the meme coins. It's the ones that actually have shit behind them, right? So we'll talk about it. Just call me and then say hi. We'll meet up at the show. My number, I just gave out my number. And if you can't remember the number, just look for it on 11 stereo and you'll find it. Base is an hour south of me. Okay, so we're talking about the same area. Cool. Hey, Mikey, happy Sunday. Thanks for meal. Oh, Romy, fuck, are you coming out to AXPONA, dude? Get your ass out there, man. Angie's going to be there. We're all going to, Big John's going to be there. Who else from Andy will be there? It's Andy's hometown. Yeah, man, get your ass out there. Come on. Come on. Hey, Mikey, what's up? U.S. Oh, there he is, man. What's up, brother? He's coming on to the show, man. Man, this guy's got a great channel too, United States of Analog. He's a radio DJ, man, in Austin, Texas. And man, this cat's been around the scene for a long time, and he is going to come on the channel as a guest. So I'm looking forward to that. I will see you absolutely at AXPONA. I'm sure you're going to be there, and that will be cool. Bob Fonseca, man. That's a good ass port wine, brother. Fonseca. That's good shit. So Bob's going to be with us. And you got to meet this guy. He's definitely tribe. I met him and I'm like, okay, dude, these tribe, you meet people and you just know they're from your tribe. Bob is tribe for sure. So check out his channel, United States of Analog. And, and we'll have you on, Bob. If we don't, we'll do it. Let's see, we can't do it next Wednesday, but how about, let's see, or Sunday, we're going to be out Wednesday or Sunday. So maybe the Wednesday after that, but we'll talk, man. I'll see you at the show. All right, man. Klipsch lead designer. Klipsch. That's who the guy is. Okay. Roy Delgado's lead designer. Got it. Okay, cool. 68 Tornado blasting in Inagata DeVito, or 84 Samurai blasting Panama. Oh, a fucking tornado, dude. Are you kidding me? Big time. Or a boat tail Riv, dude. With the 455 Wildcat. But the tornadoes were cool too, man. That's cool shit. I'm absolutely the 68. Now, 84 Samurai. No, dude, what? Light blue with pink fucking graphics on it? No, buddy. Mikey's going to check out the Ziggy Riggy. Open baffle Wednesday. Dude, cool, dude. We'll check in. We can do a live thing, we can do a short. Everybody should watch. Once I get to Chicago, just keep your eyes on my shorts, on the short videos, because I'll be documenting things that I like. Rolex is a Blancpain 50 Fathoms knockoff. Oh, is that true? Okay. I'm waiting on Blancpain because 50 Fathoms is too fat for me, bro. I like the Bathyscape ceramic without that big fat bezel. And the thing I don't like about those 50 Fathoms is that glass. What is it, like a polymer or a little glass like bubble on the bezel that makes it real kind of, it just picks up light and everything like that. It's too much for me, man. It's too chunky, but it is classic. I'm waiting on my Blancpain. I definitely want a Blancpain, and I'm trying to figure out which model. The thing is, they're like 43s, bro. So it's like freaking my wrist isn't that big, But if anything, it's going to have to be the Bathyscape 50 fathoms. One with what do they call it? It's the Bathyscape, whatever. Ceramic, because it's blacked out and it's kind of dullish. It doesn't read so big, and it wears pretty well. It has to be black. I tried a gold one with a black dial in that model in the Bathyscape, and I was just like, not working. But the big clunky Cartier somehow Santos 100 worked. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. So, but it doesn't have the fancy colors of the Rolex, but it's good to know. Blancpain's a better watch, I'm sure anyways, you know? So, okay. Thanks, Dave. That's good news. That's good information. He's giving me the lowdown. Give me the 411. Mick Ronson, I give anything to see you. Totally ripper guitar. I turned you down for a Mo and crank him up loud and rock Tommy. Cool track. I'd give anything to see you, Mikey. So come down under. You know it, brother. I will, man. No restock fee. Does the same apply to the Fisher and Fisher speakers? Of course. In the rare case they don't work. And absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, as long as you don't send me a speaker that's chipped or broken or some shit, right? Like and dude, they're tough. They don't break, they don't chip, they don't whatever. So as long as you don't drop it, right? And it looks like it did when I sent it to you. Of course, there's no restock, brother. You know, I don't play games. I'm not in this. I'm not a nickel and diming bitch. Okay. Like a lot of dealers are. They will nickel and dime the piss out of you. I overnight shit and don't try, not gear, but if somebody needs a little part or some shit like that or whatever, or it's not that common, but I'll send shit, you know, I just overnight it, fucking whatever. Don't worry about the $40. You know, I don't trip on weird little shit like that because I'm not a serial biller. That's what I heard an attorney say to me once. I'm not a serial biller. I'm like, that's great, man. I'm going to use that. So I don't get hung up on the little shit, man. I get it done. Let's get it done, whatever it takes. So yes, it does apply there now. But you will consult with me before you buy the Fisher and Fishers, and I will, you know, make sure that you've got the right speaker. They will work out in your home. You know, there is no case where a Fisher won't work out. But if you don't like it, like you don't have to lie and tell me it doesn't work out in your room. You know, you can just say, I don't like it. I want to send it back. You know, it doesn't have to have a problem, you know, and I can say, all right, you got shitty ears, but I'll give you your money back. I'm teasing, man. You know, I'm teasing. It doesn't matter. I don't need a reason for returns. I will be curious because I'll be like, what is wrong? And then I'll try and help you work through it. Because I may be able to help. Like, you know, I've had people where they're like, well, you know, how you know, can you know, how do I get more bass? And I'm like, well, send me a picture of your room. And you send a picture of the room and there's like fucking bass traps all along the front wall, like way too many bass traps. I'm like, holy shit, dude, you're sucking all the bass up. Take that shit all out and let's start putting it in 2 by 2 until you get your thing proper. You know, so there's I can show you how to make it work in your home. So that won't be the problem. If you know, they're Fisher and Fisher is the kind of speaker that is going to be far more than you anticipated. You are going to get far more for your money than you ever thought. It's going to be surprising how good they are. That's the kind of product it is. And I say that with all my heart. I've already got enough out there, over a dozen pairs out there, and everybody's absolutely thrilled. And then they just keep buying. They want more. So, for like the bedroom or whatever. So, but yeah, my policies stand true for everything. Sure. Definitely. We can talk crypto. Cool, man. I'd imagine with that in your name, dude, I'm going to hit you up for some 411. I want some info, and, you can hit me up for audio info. Greetings from Sweden. What's up, Jonas? Good to see you, man. I'll be there. Yeah, you will, man. All right, Bob. Sounds good, brother. You're gonna love this guy, Bob. You're gonna love Bob. I like Bob. I'm like, Bob's a bro. I'm like, he's cool, man. It'll be fun. It'll be a funny show, I think, with Bob and I together. We'll probably bounce off each other. No homo. You have large wrists. That's good, man. Then you get to wear some cool shit. You know, mine, I don't. I've freaking, they're not that big. They're like, I can't remember when I measured it, but big wrist guys get to wear some cool shit like Panerai and all sorts of big ass shit that there's no way I can wear it. 50 fathoms has a sapphire bezel. Okay, so cool. That's what it is. So whatever it is, it looks, you know, it catches the light, right? It's like a little bubble, you know. You're the man. Do you recommend Pass Labs amps for Fisher and Fisher? Sure, why not? They're great. They're strong. They have high current, man. You know, they will go well. There's no amp. It is such a kind of universal speaker that there is no, it doesn't have a like a coloration that you need to offset. So in other words, it's not like a forward sounding speaker that you need to use with Pass Labs, right? Like Pass Labs goes well with like Focal, right? Because it tames it out, right? And it's not too soft like maybe a Sonus might be, and maybe Pass Labs and Sonus don't work together because Sonus is kind of a musical speaker, a soft sounding speaker, or, you know, forgiving speaker. They're right dead nuts down the middle. Perfect. So they'll be great. Now, wait, I think somebody even uses Pass. Tom, do you use Pass Labs? Somebody uses one of those 60 watt integrateds with the Fishers. I think Tom does. He uses them with his S570s. There's a 38 millimeter Blancpain bathyscaphe in steel. I saw that, dude. It's a woman's watch. It's white. I saw the white one. I know they probably make some other ones too. And you want to hear something? I kind of like it. I kind of want to get it anyways. I don't even care that it's a woman's watch. I'm like, fuck it. It's white and it's cool. I want a white watch. I want a black watch and I want a white watch. And then I want, this one's green. And then I've got my blue, and, you know, one's titanium, and then one's, you know, gold and black. And then, you know, so I like, I'm like, this is kind of silly, but it's kind of cool to have a watch that kind of goes with your outfit a little bit. I know that's how, you know, I'm a Metro, because I'm trying to accessorize my watches. But it's cool. It's like if I have like black jeans, black shirt, and then like a, you know, then I could wear my black and gold. Or if I had like sneakers that were black that had like some blue accents and or silver, then I could wear my titanium Breguet. You know, it's just kind of cool like that. I just sort of like that. It's kind of neat. Model, whoa, check him out, man. Look at that. Roy's a watch guy, man. He knows already. There's also smaller Blancpain 50 fathom models in 40. Yeah, I've seen those. And what I want is the bathyscaphe, ceramic, you know, black, because that's the special ops watch. Like, I'm black ops with that shit. Like, I might as well have my AR-15 with me, you know. Hey, Mikey, how does Roland 125 compare to AA Donizetti or Maestro? Totally different. Roland 125 is a very transparent Class D amplifier, very clean. And Audio Analog Donizetti is a heavy hitting Class AB that is much more traditional in style. It's more forgiving than the 125 is. It's stronger and heftier. And the Maestro is, you know, integrated version of that. So the audio analogs are going to be more forgiving than the Roland 125 is. They're going to be a little more on the musical side. Seiko Ripley from Alien. Oh, did she wear a Rip? Is there a Ripley version or something like that? Did she wear one? I'm not a Seiko guy. I like Grand Seiko's cool, and I get I have a Seiko tuna can, you know. But I don't know. I'm a highfalutin bitch, so I wear I wear the higher level ones. How would you describe Roland D amp sound? Transparent, very transparent, low distortion, zero distortion, extremely clean, extremely transparent, punchy, powerful. Definitely I would say dead neutral. Yeah, I would say right down the center. It's not forward mids, but this is an amp that will not cover a song with forward mids. So it's unforgiving. The Roland Class D amps, at least the 125, I think the 525 was maybe a little bit better, but they're super clean. They're super clean. So and they're just, Class D to me is so clean, it has a certain sterility. The only one that kind of doesn't is Alberto Guerra, AGD. He somehow has tuned them a little more musical. Never had the pleasure of hearing them. They're very good. You get a lot for your money, man. I mean, they kick. That 125 is 4,000 new, 4,300, and then if you find them used, you get a hell of a lot for your money. There's a cool looking Grand Seiko with a white face, kind of like Clouds, I think it was. Oh, that's cool. What up, tribe? What up, Dano? You a little late to the party, man. I'm going to have to scram because it's 2 hours and 9 minutes. It's amazing that the Donizetti can sonically with even higher end Jeff Rowland class AB. You saying that it can run with the Rowland? The Rowland is a little more towards is a little more transparent. So even though it's a little on the musical side, the so if the Rowland, okay, so we got dead neutral right in the middle. Rowland is going to be one click towards the musical side. Audio analog is going to be 2 clicks towards the musical side. The Donizetti is a big thumper that is very forgiving and it's excellent. It's a killer, strong, muscular amplifier, you know. Any way to get rid of ground noise with no ground in your electrical circuits? Holy shit, that's a bad idea, brother. Make a ground for your rig, you know. But then, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea if you don't have a house ground. With no ground in your electrical circuits, rewire the house. I don't know, man. Ask an electrician. That's a tough one. You might need you might be able to put Puritan Audio has a kit where you can put a rig ground out where you can stick it in the ground and run a wire up in through this filter thing, and then you can have you can ground your electrical. You can ground your products through the chassis in your system, because if you don't have the third wire in your house. Hi, Mikey. Hi, tribe. So, Mikey, how hard have you pushed the big rig with any clipping or any sonic change? No, it's like the Lambo. It's like the Lambo, bro. It just goes, it keeps getting louder. And then it gets to the point where it's just, you're just like, how this amp can do anything, you know, and the speakers can, it's ridiculous. It's a freaking single vacuum tube doing all that. One vacuum tube. I'm telling you, it would steal the show. If I take it to a show, it steals the show. It steals the show. People have seen all the other shit. They've seen the big Magicos. They've seen the giant ass Clarisis. They've seen the huge Focals. They've seen the Jubilees. They've seen all the other shit. They've never seen stone speakers driven by a single vacuum tube that plays this intensely and loud and strong and muscular. It's an inexhaustible vacuum tube. It's whacked out. It's crazy. It's fun. PS Audio Class D was bright and no more D for me. Yeah. PS Audio is not a brand that, again, that's my favorite. Call an electrician. Absolutely. Maybe see you Friday if I can fit it in my schedule. Do it, dude. Come on, man. I'm coming up there. At least you can do is come down a couple hours. Come hang out, dude, if you can. Break away. If not, I understand. It's all good. You can ground your ground. That's right. Okay, man. I got to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I will see you later, and I will see you on, let's see, today is Sunday. So I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll do a live stream from Chicago, from my room in Chicago. All right. See you.